Hello everybody, Lila's Gigi here. I am going to show you hopefully how to create this awesome design by Zombify Me called Backcountry, and that's Zombify Me with 2 E's. Okay, if you are not following her, you might want to take a look at her account. She has created some awesome designs. Account is beautiful, very colorful, very lovely. Great renditions. So that is Zombify Me with 2 E's at the end. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and I'll be right back and we'll get started. Okay, I am back to let you know what supplies you will need. My center bead has a large hole in it, and that's why I have this on the end. I don't want that pulling through, so I don't think you need to have one of these. But because mine has a large hole, you can see right through it, I wanted to leave that on there so it would stay attached. So what you'll need is 2 beads for either side of your main, and then 2 beads for either side of this one. Okay, you need some jump rings, and I'm using 3 different colors, and I'm going to start off with my black. So I'm going to get these pushed to the side, and then we can get started. Be right back. So I am back, and we are going to start with our center bead. I'm going to put that on my hook, like so. Then I'm going to take double bands. We're going to use double bands for this part of this bracelet. Excuse me, itchy nose. Pull the double bands through and reattach. Okay, once you've reattached these, we're going to pull another double band through and grab them. Goodness, sticky bands. Okay, we're going to pull another double band through, and this is where we're going to add your next set of beads. Okay, and I think I forgot to tell you that that second set of beads in the flipogram, Holly had, or Zombify Me had added 2 bands to that. So that's what I did, and we're going to go ahead and follow her flipogram up to, I should say up to a point. Sorry, Holly, I combined a couple of steps. We're going to add all 3 of the beads, the sets of beads, to this until we get to the end. Okay, so before I close that up, I want to take my set of beads, and I don't want them facing my center beads, so I'm going to turn them away. Okay, now I'm going to say that this is, I'm choosing this, make sure that's correct, this part right here to be my top. So this is going to be the bottom. Because they're one-sided beads, I have to be careful of how I lay them, or they will be upside down and facing the wrong way. So I want them to go in between here just like this. So I'm going to add the band just like that, the same way I was just showing it, and then I'm going to attach the other end of those. So I now have 6 on here. Okay, so for me, the bottom of my bracelet is going to be, when I hold my hook this way, this is going to be the bottom of my bracelet. If you're using beads that are not one-sided, it's not really going to matter how you lay those on there. Okay, but I want them to go a certain way, and I want them to be showing. Okay, so let's get back to this. We're going to add another double band, and it's going to go through all 6 of these. So let's see, I think I'm going to try to take 2 off at a time. So there's 2 there. Now this next set is going to be hard because they're just hanging out here. So if I hold on to all of this, I will be able to lift this up and over that hook. Okay, just get it out of there, and then pull the band through the 2 that are left on your hook. and you'll have 6 on here, and then we're going to close it back up. Okay, so it should look like this. You'll have when I turn it the right side, you can see that my my beads are facing. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's where they're looped together. But these are facing away from my center bead, which is what I want. Okay, so now that we've pulled that through, we're going to add another double, just like so. I'm going to pull this band, or the double bands through those 4 on your hook. So now we have 4. I'm going to hold this because this is where I'm going to add that 3rd set of bead. So again, I'm using this as my top because now that I have this in here, I know exactly where my top is going to be, or the front of my bracelet. And I'm going to put it on just like this. So I'm going to take what I consider the back. I'm going to hook this on, and also, I want it facing away, facing the same way that these are. So put your bead on and then close it up. Okay, now we're going to add 2 more sets of bands to this, and pulling. There are now 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on our hook. So we're going to pull all 5 of those through. I'm pulling the first 2 towards the center. Now this is loose, so I know I can hold these and just lift that up and over that hook. And then I'm going to pull it through these 2 right here. Okay, so now I have 5 on here. I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to add another set. Just like so. And pull that through all 4 of these. And then I'm going to clip this off. Okay? Don't want them to fall off. And I'm going to use my trusty little plastic clip here. I must have picked that up. Through these 2 and through what's on my hook. You can use a C-clip to hook these off with if you want. That works just fine. Okay, I prefer to use these. Alright, so that is one part of the bracelet done. We're going to do the same thing up this side, right here, and then we're going to have the same thing down here on both sides. So I think I will go through that with you. I know this is going to be a long tutorial, but oh well, can't be helped, and that's fine. So I'm going to unhook this, pull that band off, and I want to work down the other side. So I'm going to stick my hook through that, well, if I can get it, there we go. Stick my hook through this band right here. I'm going to pull 2 bands through the single band that's on my hook. Like so. And then reattach. Okay, so now we're going to pull another band, a double set of bands through here, and this is where we're going to attach the next bead. Okay, so considering I have these that are one-sided, and this one, like I said, moves around, so it's okay. I can, whoops, I pulled those right off of there, didn't I? Shame on me. Let me hook these back up. Oh, goodness. All right, happens. It happens. So I'll pull those back through here. It's what I get for talking and not paying attention. All right, so now that I put that through, I'm going to work up this side. Okay? This is going to be the top of my bracelet. So before I actually hook this back on here, so my apologies, I'm going to attach this end of my bead. onto my hook. Front to back, or I'm sorry, back to front it looks like. Come on. I still want to make sure I have this right. I think that's why I'm fidgety here. Okay, then reattach. Okay. Now we're going to take and pull a band or a double band through all 6 of these that are now on our hook. Just have to be careful. You know, like I said, it gets a little fidgety when you're pulling these off of here. A little scary because, you know, you don't want your band to fall apart or your bracelet to fall apart like mine just sort of did. I was able to recover, so that was nice. So pull those over. So all 6 of those that were on your hook will now be on this double band. And then we're going to close it. Okay. I'll flip this around so you can kind of see. Like that. Right? So we're going to pull another band, another double band through here. Excuse me. These things get so sticky. I thought I had unstuck them, but evidently not. So we're going to pull another band through these 4 that are on your hook. Okay. And before we reattach, we're going to add this bead that's hanging out here. So I'm going to go up through here and then reattach like so. Now let me pull this through. All 5 that are on my hook. I'll get those out of the way. Being that it's black, it's kind of hard to see, so sometimes want to make sure I get that band. So what I'm going to do is not something I would usually do, but I'm going to pull this up and over to make sure that I get it, and then I'm going to pull this through these 2. Okay, so now I have 5 on my hook, my band. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to reattach. Okay, almost done with this section here. I'm going to add another double set of bands to this. Then I'm going to clip it off, and then I will be right back. So let me pull this through, like so. I'm going to use my trusty little here, pull this through here, come on, and then put this on here. And again, you can use a C-clip to do this. You do not need these. Okay, so this is what, whoop, straighten it out, what 1/2 of the front of my bracelet looks like. Okay, a little wiggly in here, and I'll straighten them when I'm done. But this is just one side. Okay, and I will be back, and we will work on the next side. I am back, and we're going to be working down the other end of this. So we're going to be adding a band, then we'll be adding these and a band, and then these and a band. Okay, and then I think 2 at the end of that. So what we want to do is we want to go through this bead right here, this band that's attached to the top of your bead. So let's see, is it going to matter? Probably not. So I'll just go to the outside one. I'm going to pull, let me move my bands. Sorry. I'm going to pull 2 bands through that single band that's on your hook and then reattach. Okay. Once we've reattached those, we're going to add another band, and this is where we're going to put our second set of beads. So, right there. So I'm looking at this, and this is my front, and my bead is going to lay, I want them facing away from that center bead, so they're going to lay like this. So I actually want them to go right in here. So I'm going to attach the bands on the other end of that, and then I'm going to close, get those out of the way. Goodness. Oh, there we go. Then I'm going to close this up. When you do this, just be careful that you don't lose bands. I mean, it happens, but just try to be careful with it. Okay, so now I have 6 bands on here, and I'm going to pull a band through those. All 6 of them. These 2. I'm actually going to hold this and lift this one up and over. You can pull it through any way you want. It's just, for me, it seems to get stuck. So here, get those out of the way, and then pull through here, and so you'll have all. Whoop, see, there we go. Don't lose it. Okay, there it is. So sorry. You have 6 on here, and then you're going to close that up. Okay? Just like that. So we pulled that band through. The next thing we're going to do is pull 2 more bands through, and we're going to add that 3rd bead at this time. Okay? So pulling it through, 1, 2, 3, 4 that are on your hook. You got something stuck. Oh, missing. Let me put these back. Do this one more time. Alright, so there's 4 bands on your hook. Going to pull this through all 4 of those bands. And before I reattach, I'm going to add my last bead. Okay, looking at this again. These are a little twisted, but trust me, they'll lay fine when I'm done. Looking at this again, I want them facing away, so I'm actually going to put the bead on like this with it facing away from the center bead. Reattach. Okay, and I'm going to pull another set of double bands through. So I'm going to pull through 2 of these. So there's first set of 2, there's that 5th one, or 3rd one, and then the other 2 that are on here. Oh, sorry, I'm getting out of frame. And then close this up. Kind of get it to the center if you can, and then add 2 more bands to this side, like so. And then we're going to clip it off. And of course, oh, there they are. Thought I had lost them. So here and here, and then you can use a C-clip if you want, whatever you want to use to hold that together. Okay, so now let me flip this around, lay it down a little bit. Let me get these straightened out. Getting on my one good last nerve there. Alright, so now they lay like that, and it kind of looks like this. Okay, with these 2, this set and this set hanging out. Just doing nothing, but we're going to fix that. Okay, so let's see the best way to do this. I'm going to, well, we're going to use, again, the bottom, this right here. That's what we're going to go through. So we're going to, I think maybe if I turn it this way, it'll be a little bit easier for me, since I've got these hanging out and I need to attach them. So I'm going to put our hook through this right here. Okay, we're going to pull a double set of bands through that, then reattach, And now is where we're going to put another set through here of double bands, and that is where we're going to attach the other part of this bead that's hanging out here. I hope you can see this okay. I'm using the dark color, so it might be a little more difficult, but you can stop and pause and rewind how many ever times you need to until you get it. So this actually ends up being the top of my bracelet. See how these are nice and smooth here? And this is the top of my bracelet. So what I want to do is I want to hook my band through my hook through the bands that are on this set of beads right here. And then I'm going to close it up. Just like that. So you have 6 on here now. Take another set of double bands and pull it through all 6 of those. So carefully, might have to double do them like this. Alright, so I don't want to lose anything since I worked very hard to get them on there. So what is happening here? It's hard for me to see. Okay, so it's one set almost. There's the other part of that, which makes 2. Okay. These 2, and then your last 2. Now I have to tell you, it's a lot easier to do this not on camera. So we're going to close this up. It looks like this right now. Okay. And close that up, and I'm going to add another set of bands through these 2 and these 2. Now before I close this up, I'm going to add this third band right here. So this is the top. See how that kind of lays flat? See that? This ends up being over here, ends up being the top of my bracelet. So what I want to do now is don't want to lose that end, but I want to hook this from the top onto my hook. Like so. And then I'm going to reach around here and close this up. Okay? Looks like that. And now I have 5 on here. And I think I'm running out of bands over here. Might have to make a little bit of noise and get into my stash. So we're going to take the double bands. We're going to pull everything off that is on our hook. Everything. So that's, I think I got all 3 of those, and then the last 2. So there will be 5 on here. Okay, there's 5 here. We're going to close that up. And we're going to add another set of bands, of double bands through this. Just like so. Okay, so all 4 of those are on. Now, comes a little tricky. I want to push those to the center because I'm going to release these from here. And I'm also going to release this side. These happen to be the LE bands, so, and they're doubled, so they're pretty thick, and they're probably not going to go anywhere. Okay? So 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, there we go. I thought I had added maybe too much space to that. Alright, so let me just make sure I have some more bands still. There we go. I think I have just the right amount for this side. We're going to add all 4 of these together and then actually put them on a jump ring. So, whatever side is your top side, you want that facing you. And it's obvious which side is my top side because of these beads. I'm going to take your hook and put it through, with everything facing away from you, put it through the top set on the right hand side. Okay? Then we're going to reach over here and put it through the top set on the left-hand side. Okay. Then we're going to reach over to this side and put the bottom set of the right-hand side on, and then this set. So that it's, if you look at it, it's every other one. This is the top one side, this is the other top, this is this top. And it kind of weaves back and forth. So this comes from this side, this comes from this side, this set comes from over here, and this set comes from over here. Just like that. Okay, now you have 8 on here. So what we're going to do is reach in here, grab another set of double bands, and we're going to pull all, I don't want to lose these, we're going to pull all 8 of these off. I'll just do the maybe 2 at a time, see if that doesn't work for me. That's one set. Here is, well, come on, the other set. Okay, did I get them all? Yes, I did. Okay, your next set of 2 and your next set of 2. That is 8 bands. 2, 4, 6, 8 on this double band. Okay, then we want to close it up. Just close it up, just like that. Okay. Now we're going to pull another set of double bands through these 4 right here. So these 2 come off onto that band or bands, and these 2 come off just like that. Okay. Now we're going to do, I'm going to squeeze this a little bit right here, because I'm going to take my hook and put it through the back, because now we're going to do a slip stitch. But I want the slip stitched part to be on the front of my bracelet. So let me put these back on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is actually coming up from the back. This is the front of my bracelet over here, and this is the back. And I'm going to pull these 2 in the front right now over, should get my hook right, I'm sorry, through here, and then just like this. Okay, so that my slip stitch, the part that goes over those bands, is on the front. And I'm going to give it a tug. Okay, I have 2 bands here, which I pulled through, just like that. Now I'm going to take excuse me, my jump ring, do it a little bit different than I did in the last tutorial, but because there are no bands in the way, it's easy enough for me now. I'm going to bring it up through the back and down towards the front. I'll show you when I get done with this. Just like this. Goes in through the back, down through the front, and give it a little bit of a tug. Okay, so you can hold it and squeeze it, because we are going to slip this through here. Give it a tug, pull this all the way up, push, push, push till you get it through. Okay, and there. You have a nice little slip knot in here. You can straighten those out a little bit if you want, but it's attached, just like that. Okay, I'll move my beads around in a minute and show you exactly. Let's see if I can get that in there where it belongs. This one I'm going to have to pull and move, both of them. So I'll get them where it belongs. So just fiddle with it a little bit to make sure that your beads are set where you want them to. I just want you to see this. And it looks like, whoops, so sorry. Looks like this. Okay? That'll lay pretty nice on a wrist, don't you think? Okay. I'm going to grab some more black bands, and then I will be back with you to finish off this end the same way we did this end. And there's still more to come. Okay, see you in a moment. Okay, so I am back and I got myself a few more black bands. And what I'm going to do is if you have C-clip these, you'll just remove the C-clips. I'm going to remove both ends of this, being careful that they don't come off of here. Okay, and both ends are now off. They're just hanging out there like this. This is the top of my bracelet, so I'm going to do the same thing I did over on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and start with the right, put my hook through there. I'm going to go over to the left, put my hook through here. Okay? Careful not to pull those out. I'm going to go over to the right side, put my hook through there, and then go over to the left side and put my hook through there. Okay, I have 2, 4, 6, 8 bands on my hook, so I can get you a better look at that. There's 8 bands there. 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm going to take a double band and I'm going to pull it through all 8 of those that are on my hook. Okay, so that's one set. Just to make sure that I get them all. There is the, well, come on. Give this a tuck here. Second, I'm afraid I'm going to lose these on here. I don't want to do that, so give that a tug. I can see that it's not there, it went through there. And let's see if it's going to go through all of them. And yes, success. It did. So just like that, and reattach. Okay, look just like this, or similar. I'm sure beads are different than mine, so might not be the same. So we're going to pull another band through these two, a double band that is, just like so. Go through all 4 of these loops that are on your hook. Give it a little tug there to even it out. And I'm going to do a slip stitch here, but I want the slip stitch part to be in the front of my bracelet. So I'm going to remove this, come up from the back, okay, reattach, make sure those are even there, not crooked, reattach, and then I'm going to slip the back one up and over the top. Okay, just like that. So sorry if I was out of frame. Just like that. So now I have these 2 hanging out here. I'm going to put my ring on. I'm bringing this through the back this time. Okay, over the front where I'm going to grab it. And then I'm going to push these 2 over here and these 2 over on this side. And then push that ring right through that little space I made. Okay? Just like that. Then I might want to move these up so that they're even. And there we go. Looks just like this. Okay? Just like that. Yay! Get a little closer so you can see. All of my beads are lying the way that I want them to. Got my center, and then these going out to the side. So, looks just like that. Okay, I will be back in a moment as soon as I go through this flipogram one more time to make sure that I have read it properly. Sometimes I don't read the way I should. It's like, oh my gosh, is that what I just saw? Or, you know, trying to decipher them sometimes are a little difficult for me, but I do my best. Okay, anyway, I'm going to put this down aside, go through that flipogram one more time, and then make sure that I come back and can at least speak intelligently. I can't even talk now. Intelligently to you. Okay, bye. Be right back.